Hi, my name is Lilla Ronga, founder of the Bright Academy, and today I'm here with Linda Bjork, founder of the Hope for Healing nonprofit foundation, motivational speaker, as well as the course instructor for our self-esteem and self-confidence course, host of the podcast Linda's Corner. Anything else you would like to add? So many amazing things you're working on.
Oh, thank you. I love what I do. And Lila, I just want to thank you for creating this platform and assembling a team of experts to help empower women to be successful. And not only successful in business, but successful in their lives, in the things that matter most to them. And my area of expertise is helping people become their best selves. For me, I am an overcomer. I have overcome depression, anxiety, trauma, low self esteem, self limiting beliefs, and so many other things. And having gone down that path, it is my passion to help other people to wake up. For a long time, I felt like I was trapped, stuck in a deep, dark hole. And there were no windows and there were no doors in this dark place. And I felt helpless. I felt hopeless. And I felt stuck. And I thought, there is no way out. There are no doors. There are no windows. And then a friend, my sister, she lowered a ladder down into my deep, dark hole. She showed me how to climb out. And now that I know how to do that, it is my passion to offer a ladder to anyone who feels stuck in a deep, dark place. That is why I do what I do. And I love it. And it brings me so much joy to see other people awaken and become all the things that they can be. And that is why I created this course. It's about unleashing our inner confidence. The truth is, we have everything we need already inside of us. We just need to awaken it. And the secret is through learning how to love and accept ourselves as we take this journey of self love and of self confidence, this self acceptance, this self esteem. All of a sudden, we realize, hey, I am good enough. I am worthy and deserving of being seen, of being heard, of being respected, of enjoying success. And then all of a sudden, when we know that that's who we are, it's magical. Other things just seem to fall into place. And it is beautiful, the transformation that takes place.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Wow, you summarized basically the entire journey and my mission as well. So I'm really happy that we got to connect through via that. It's a great opportunity for us to collaborate. And it's one of the most important courses that I wanted to create for the Bright Academy is the self-confidence because I feel like us women often have difficulties in that field. And thank you for sharing your tough times as well. And I feel like when you overcome something like this and you're able to help somebody else, that's why it's beautiful that you shared it. Because when I have tough days, I kind of think of that, okay, when I overcome this, I will have this knowledge, I'll have this experience, and I will be able to help others. So that always helps me. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm very curious about how you started your foundation and how you started your journey.
Of course. So the reason that I do what I do is to help other people to be able to get out and to get up. And so I'm just sharing information. How do we do this? Now, if you can imagine, you're stuck in a deep, dark hole with no windows and no doors, and I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the ability to get myself out. We need two things. The first thing we need is the correct information. I did not know how to get myself out. I did not know that it was possible to get myself out. And the second thing is it requires action. If someone puts a ladder down a hole and I sit on the ground, it's not going to do me any good. I have to take that step by step and climb out. There's a quote by James Clear that I absolutely love. And he said, the most practical way to change who you are is to change what you do. And that makes so much sense. So the secret is small and simple action steps. Now, not everybody knows this, but our emotions are chemical. There's a reason why we feel the way that we do. And our body chemistry affects the way that we feel. It affects what we do, it affects what we say, and it affects how we think. But the good news is it's a cycle. What we do, what we say, and what we think affects our body chemistry. And when we can change our body chemistry, we can start to feel better. We can increase all of those feel good hormones. We can decrease the stress hormones, and we can actually change the physiology of our bodies. And it is so much easier than people realize. Within 90 seconds, we can do tricks and techniques to help lower our cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and to increase those feel good chemicals like our dopamine, our serotonin, our oxytocin. And then we literally begin to feel better. When I am feeling better, it's easier to take the next step up that ladder. And so, if we don't do anything, it is very normal and very natural to follow a downward spiral. Things just get worse and they get worse and they get worse. The reverse is true when we are on that healing journey. It can become an upward helix where everything becomes a little bit easier and we feel a little bit better and we can take that next step. So it isn't really a straight up ladder, it's more of a helix. But still, those are the things that we can do. Now, in this course, I'm going to be sharing, we have some freebies, some 4 easy things. One is a trick that we can do in 90 seconds that helps to boost confidence. It helps to lower stress. It's something that you can do very quickly and easily, like before you have that job interview, or before you make that phone call, before you do that presentation, before you meet that prospective client, to help shift the chemistry in your body very quickly to feel a little bit more confident, a little bit less stressed, and I can move forward. I'm also going to share something that we can do in 5 minutes that we can help to take control of our day. And if we do it every day, we can take control of our life. There's also quick and easy things we can do to help us get motivation. Like, oh, I am dreading this call. I don't want to do it. How do I get over that? There are easy ways to be able to give just that little boost of confidence so you can take it to the next thing. We also are going to be sharing information about how to calm that inner critic that says, you're not good enough. You can't do this. You're a failure. You're not smart enough. You're not good enough. And so we can quiet that inner voice and then be able to put in some new sounds, some new voices that I can do this. I do matter. I am important. I I am capable. I am confident. And as we begin to change our story, we can change how we see ourselves. And when we change how we see ourselves, it changes the way that other people view us. There's a very normal, natural effect. It's like a mirror effect where we reflect what other people see in us and they respond with the way that we see ourselves. And it just goes back and forth. We can literally create a new reality as we recreate ourselves. And it's like magic where I have no power to change another person. I have no power to change you or anyone else. And yet, when we change ourselves, people instinctively, reflexively treat us differently. So if we find ourselves in a situation where, Lilla, everywhere I go, I am disrespected. People don't appreciate anything that I do. My efforts aren't received. If that is a pattern that is repeating over and over again, it is because of us, not because we're not worthy of those things, but because we don't think that we are worthy of those things. When I change my inner narrative that, oh, I am worthy of being seen, of being heard, of being respected, of being valued. When I know that, that mirror reflection, people see it and they say, oh, Linda is worthy of being heard. I will listen. I will see. I will respect. And they do it reflexively, instinctively. There are people I know that you've been associated with where their very presence commands respect. And there are other people, when you're associated with them, there's a feeling about them that they're not very important. You can pass by them so easily because they don't really matter. Their opinion doesn't matter. They're just not important. Well, the truth is, we all matter. We are all important. But those are the messages that those types of people are sending out. One person sends out a message of, I am a voice of authority. Listen to me. And another person sends out a voice and a message that says, I'm not very important. I don't matter. You don't need to listen to me. And you can see it, and you can see it even in their body language. You can see it. And the interesting thing is, our body language and our emotions are tied, they go both ways. For example, when I feel good, I might smile. The magic is when we smile, it also sends a message to the brain to feel good. My body language sends a message not only to other people, but to myself. If I have my shoulders slumped, if I have my head down, if I have my eyes lowered, it says, I am small. I am unimportant. That is a message that's coming from me and it's being shown in my body. But we can turn it around. If I stand up tall, if I pull my shoulders back, if I put my chin up, if I smile, that is sending a message to myself. I matter. I am strong. I am powerful. You can hear me, and I am worth listening to. And that message doesn't only go to ourselves, but it is picked up by the people around us. When we communicate, we listen to words, but the thing that we believe is the body language that goes with it. It comes out in our presentation. It comes out not only with the words that we use, but how we say them. It comes out with our body language. It's magical. We think we're speaking to someone, and we are, but the message that we're sending is so much bigger than the words that we use. It's like magic. So everything that I do, and this is in throughout the entire course, and it's throughout everything I do, includes action steps. Everything is, let's learn some information. This is how I apply it. There is something I can do about me, about how I feel. There is something I can do to change the way that I feel about myself. And the magic is, it doesn't take a lot of time. I know that people are busy. I know, especially women, we feel overwhelmed. There is so much to do. It's like, please don't ask me to do one more thing. I can't handle it. I'm so overwhelmed. That burden is just killing me. Don't ask me to do more. So everything is broken into teeny tiny pieces, small, bite size, and even fun. Because if we enjoy something, it is so much easier to continue and to do that thing. So everything small, simple, bite size. You can do this. And that is the message that I want to share with anyone and everyone is you can do this. There is hope. There is healing. There is happiness for you. For any person who is willing to accept it and embrace it, it is there for you. So that is in a nutshell who I am and what I do. So it is all about let's climb out of that hole. Let's be free. Let's enjoy the beautiful sunshine that is available for me, for you, for all of us. And I just am so passionate. I just want to shout it to the world. Come on, guys, let's do this. Come, be happy with me. We can do this.
I love it. What a beautiful calling. Thank you for sharing. And what a valuable tool set that you offer. What do you feel like is the number one or most common issue that you see maybe in your nonprofit organization or amongst women nowadays?
Excellent question. I think it's a lack of self-love. I think it's a lack of valuing ourselves. And I guess that's why with all of the different facets, all the different things that I teach, as you mentioned, this is the key. We have to have a foundation. We have to be able to love ourselves before other people can truly love and value us. We need to learn how to treat ourselves the way that we want other people to treat us. Now, here's an example. For a long time, when I was struggling with low self-worth, my self-talk was constantly berating me. Oh, you're so stupid. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, you're not good enough. Oh, da da da. And I did not think it was hurting anyone. No one heard it. I wasn't hurting another soul. I was as kind as I could be to all the people around me, but not to me. And I didn't think it mattered, and I didn't think that it hurt anybody. But I have since learned that it was so wrong. I was a bully. I was a bully to myself. I was critical to myself. I beat myself up all the time. Now, there's a phenomenon called the mere exposure effect. And what it is that people tend to believe what they hear over and over again. It doesn't matter if it's true or not, which kind of baffles scientists because we think we're so rational, but we're not as rational as we think we are. We believe what we hear over and over again. So if someone is telling you all the time, oh, you're so stupid. Oh, you're so fat. Oh, you're not good enough. Oh, why can't you do anything right? When we hear those messages, we internalize them and we believe them. It is absolute fact in our brain. So if we're raised in a home where that's the way our parents treated us, we believe it and it becomes our identity. Now, that voice can also come from ourselves. Now, when we're children, we don't have a lot of control over our environment, but when we become adults, we can carry things with us and we can continue to abuse ourselves all day long. I am not good enough. I can't do anything right. Well, guess what? When you say those things over and over again to yourself, you believe it. And it's very, very hard to change those beliefs because they become the very identity of who and what you are. And it takes some time to be able to peel back the layers and to let go and to allow ourselves to not be garbage and treated as worthless. It is actually terrifying to say, I have value. I can't have value. That's scary because I know what it feels like to be worthless. It is familiar. And whatever is familiar is comfortable. Even if it's horrible, if it's familiar, it feels comfortable. But if there's something different, like, oh, you have value, you are lovable, you are worthy and deserving of love and respect and success. No, 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 that's terrifying. I've never experienced that before. It must be dangerous. I could die. I mean, that's what's going on inside of our mind because our mind is all about survival. And the other thing it's all about is trying to make things, it uses efficiency. It's all about survival and efficiency, which means that we just have go-to programs. It's like, if this happens, this is my response. I don't have to think about it. It's automatic. So as long as I go on that automatic, it doesn't take any energy, doesn't take any effort. I can just keep going. But if I want to make a change, oh, that takes effort. And effort is contrary to what our brain's default mode is. It wants survival and it wants it to be easy. So if we want to go beyond survive into thrive, and I want to do something different, it takes effort to get your brain to allow that change and to create new programs. It's almost like when we're driving down the road, how you don't even feel the movement. It's just so normal and natural. But if you took a quick turn, a quick U-turn, oh, you can feel your body just shifting in the car, like, you've got those G's moving on you. It's hard. But if you can make it to turn around all the way and go the other direction, it becomes just as easy and normal and natural as it was to go the other direction. So one way is easy, turn is hard, and the other way is easy. So when we're in a place of, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not valued, it's easy. That's just normal. To try to make that turn into being something more, into becoming something more is hard. I can feel those G's pressing on me. But after I continue the turn, it becomes just as easy and normal and natural and effortless to feel confident, happy, authentic, and joyful. And that's a message that I think people need to understand, because when you're in that place of turning, it feels so hard. It is so hard. And you think, man, if I got to do this for the rest of my life, isn't it worth it? Just put me back. It doesn't stay that way forever. All we have to do is make the turn. And it is as easy and normal and natural to be completely joyful and happy in your own skin. And I take myself with me everywhere I go. So I might as well be happy in this skin.
Beautiful. I've never heard that metaphor before, but it's a really great one. Thank you for sharing. So for those who might be right before this turn, would you be okay with sharing your story of, was there a point maybe when you felt like you just want to change the way that you think right now? How was that, and how was the turn itself for you?
Wow. Okay. So when I was in my place, let's picture where I was. I was struggling with depression. And Lilla, I was beyond sadness. I was beyond emptiness. It was misery where I wanted to die every day. So the pain would just stop. And I didn't see any way out. I was so stuck. So did I want to change? Yeah. Yeah, I did. And my sister at that time was training to become a life coach. And she said, I'm planning this women's retreat. Come for 3 days and 3 nights in the mountains. We're gonna come. I'm gonna teach people how to be happy and how to live joyfully. And do you want to come? And I thought, no, heck no, 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 I would never want to come because I was stuck. And I thought there's nothing she's gonna say that's gonna make any difference. And besides, I was terrified. I was struggling with social anxiety. I couldn't handle being around other people. I thought, I can't handle it. It's not going to do any good. I don't want this. And so, even though I didn't want to go, the idea would not leave my head. And I gathered up my courage and I went. And it was there that I felt like I had just a glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, there was something I could do about it. And that was the beginning. But you do need to understand that with authentic healing, it is not like flipping on a light switch where all of a sudden everything is better. It is not like taking a pill and everything is better. It is like a sunrise where the changes from moment to moment might be gradual, but they do come and it becomes something beautiful. And then everything around us changes. So I did not change in a moment. But the one thing that did change in a moment was that glimmer of hope that there was maybe something I could do about it. That was the beginning of the turn. And was the turn hard? Oh, yeah, it was very hard. There were times where I thought, this is so not worth it. Just put me back in my misery. At least I know what to expect. But now, oh my gosh, I am authentically joyful. I feel so free. And it is so amazing. And it is my honor and my privilege to share that knowledge with other people. And when you recognize how small and simple and easy it is, it seems ridiculous because I was so stuck. There was nothing that would work. And yet the actual things that work are small and simple. But the difference is it's consistency. We very gently, consistently change the chemistry in our body so that we feel better. We very gently and consistently, we stop that negative self-talk. We put new words, new ideas into our head so that we can move forward. It involves a whole lot of letting go. We have to let go of old ideas. We have to let go of ways of doing things. There's a whole lot of self-sabotage. We don't even realize we're doing it. We create these ideas in our mind. This is who I am. This is what I am able to do. And then, if there ever comes an opportunity to be more or to do more than what I already think I am, I will, without even meaning to, sabotage myself and put myself right back where I belong because that is where I'm comfortable. So we have to learn how to find those self-limiting beliefs. Where did they come from? There is always a reason, and it's usually not the one that you thought it was. And when we can find the underlying causes, then we're able to reevaluate, to let go, to create a new story, and to become something different. All of it is possible, but it does take some time and it takes some effort and it takes someone who has been there to show you how. But all of it is possible and it is so worth it.
Thank you for sharing your story. So you mentioned is one of the top issues that could hold women back could be negative self-talk, could be low self-esteem and lack of self-love. Is there anything that you would like to add to that list and maybe give any tips or tricks that our audience can take away from today?
Oh, yes, we have so many tips and tricks about how to change that. So, whenever we have this negative self talk, there's a common thing called rumination, and that is when we go in circles. We just go in cycles over and over again. You can tell that same story to yourself, like, oh, I made this mistake. Well, I made a mistake. But no, 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 no. One mistake is not enough. I must replay it over and over again. I must beat myself up for it over and over again. And I can do it for days, nights. I can miss sleep. I can do all of these things. Research shows that if we can break that cycle for 2 minutes, we can set on to a new path. And all we have to do is distract ourselves, which seems so easy. And yet it's not when you're stuck in that cycle of going around and around and around. Now, one way to help kind of change that cycle is to pause. The first thing is to have to recognize that you're doing it. It's like, you know what? I am going in a cycle. I am just beating myself up over this thing over and over again. Huh. I'm going to pause for a minute. Now I'm just going to tell myself, I am the kind of person who is kind to myself. That's it. Now I know how to be kind. I know how to be kind to other people. Sometimes we forget to be kind to ourselves, but I know what kindness looks like. If I was kind to myself, how would I treat myself? I am the kind of person who is kind to myself. Now, if we were talking, Lilla, and you said, oh man, I made this mistake, and you were going over and over again, I would say, oh, you know what? Let it go. It's not that big of a deal. The sun is going to rise tomorrow. We're going to be okay. If you made a mistake, you can apologize. If this happened, we can correct it. It's going to be okay. Well, you know what? I can do that for myself as well. And it starts with that simple phrase, I am the kind of person who is kind to myself. Now, if I have to say that 100 times a day, then I say it 100 times a day. But what it does is it gets us into a new trajectory. I am worthy of people being kind to me, including myself. And when we start to be kind to ourselves and show ourselves some self-compassion, then it opens the door to do the next level. But I think that is such a beautiful place to start. It's just be kind. I am the kind of person who is kind to myself. And that is a beautiful way to help break that cycle and to put us into a new trajectory. So I would say that's the first step.
That's such a lovely idea, and I love how really simple it is. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. If you had any final thoughts you would share with the women of the world, whoever is going to listen to this video, what would it be?
Oh, what an excellent question. I think a lot of times when we're struggling, we feel like we are all alone. We're the only person who has ever felt that way. And it makes us feel even ashamed. I'm ashamed of my weakness. I'm ashamed for not being able to be who I want to be and do what I want to do. And it creates that downward cycle. My first thing I would say is You're not alone. There are other people who have felt the way that you feel. There are other people who've had experiences similar to yours. And there is also hope for healing. And you can do this. And we'd love to be a part of your story and to help you. We want you to feel the joy that is available for you. You're not alone.
Linda, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your personal story and for being open and vulnerable like that. It's definitely an inspiration. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Nina.